Okay, I just wanted to go through how to reconstruct geologic history from a block diagram or a cross section. And so here's a cross section, and you can see igneous rock 1, igneous rock 2, the little wiggly line equals unconformity, and those equal faults. So you're going to want to do this in order from oldest to youngest. So when it's asking you the geologic history or what's happening, this is how you would go about doing this. So I'm going to look at the sedimentary layers first. Since this is an igneous rock, it's intruding into the other rocks, so I'm going to use the principle of cross-cutting relationships, and that tells me that it's cutting across all these layers and you have inclusions up here. So this is much younger than the layers that are tilted at the bottom. Same thing with the fault. The fault cuts all the way up to here, so it's much younger than the layers at the bottom. So the layers right here below the unconformity, these layers right here, the layers that are over here, they're the same layers. So you can see this is the same layer as that, that's the same layer as that, that's the same layer as that. So those are the first layers, and they were originally deposited. So you have deposition. So I'm going to label it. It's 1 deposition. And if it gives you numbers for the layers, you can put layers 1 through whatever were deposited. So this would be number 1. We have deposition. Then 2 would be tilting. Since the layers are not flat, they're at an angle that tells you they were tilted, and they were probably uplifted at the same time. So tilting and uplifting is occurring to the layers of that I labeled section 1. Then the igneous intrusion is coming in. So this would be number 3. This is 1 plus 2. So the igneous intrusion is intruding into all these layers. The unconformity is cutting across it, so the unconformity is younger because whatever does the cutting is younger than what is being cut. So then we have 3 igneous rock intrudes. Then we end up with erosion. So 3, 4, we have erosion. And the erosional surface would be an angular unconformity. I'm just putting that in there just to kind of remind you about different types of unconformity. Since these rocks are tilted on the bottom, they're horizontal on top, that's your angular unconformity. Then we have deposition again, because these rocks, you can see you got inclusions. We're having horizontal rocks again. So we can label this number 4. And then since these rocks right here, this is going to be number 5, which also includes these rocks right here, because these are the same rocks. You can see this layer is that layer, that layer is that layer, that layer is that layer. And notice the fault, because the fault is dropping this block down, these rocks got pushed up. This rock got eroded away from this side, but it's still exposed over here. So number 5 would be deposition of the sedimentary layers. Then I have to figure out, is the fault next or is the igneous intrusion next? Well, I know the fault is next because the igneous intrusion 2 is cutting across the fault. So whatever does the cutting is always younger than what is being cut. So the fault is older since it's being cut. So our next one would be faulting, which we can label this number 6. Then our igneous intrusion, number 2, would be number 7. Which once again, it's cutting across everything, including the fault. So it's younger than the fault, but it's not cutting into the next horizontal layers. And you can see that there's inclusions in these layers. So whatever is being included is always older than what it's included into. So I know that the intrusion is older than these horizontal layers. So then we have our faulting and our igneous intrusion. Then because there's an unconformity here, anytime we have an unconformity, number 8 is going to be uplift and erosion. And this is going to be a disconformity. Once again, just reminding you the types of unconformities. So this is number 8 because we have an erosive surface. And then these sedimentary layers are going to be due to deposition. So this is going to be number 9. And so you can see with the stream and stuff, there's deposition occurring now. But so those are going to be the last set of depositions. So that would basically be like the geologic history, a very general geologic history of the area and the sequence of events.